Welcome back. It is time for the panel. Carmen Vicelich is with us, Velocity founder and global CEO. Damian Light is here, Howick local board member, former leader of United Future. Good morning.
Kia ora, good morning.
Good to see you both. We'll start with Air New Zealand. Carmen, we had the CEO on this morning. A lot of our viewers gave him a bit of flack for flights delayed, etc. You have a good experience with Air New Zealand. What's your vibe?
I'm always loyal to the local business, so I'm many years co-elite banked, as you'd probably imagine, for the global business, and I think it's sort of up and down, but I think they are trying, but yeah, it can be up and down.
Damian?
I don't travel as much as I used to be fair. But I've always had pretty good experiences with Air New Zealand. I do try to travel, the national carrier when I can. But I do think they have got a reliability problem. And I do think when they're charging the prices they're charging locally for domestic flights, I think there's an expectation that they'll be reliable and that they will travel when they need to, right? And when delays happen and things go wrong, I understand that, but they do have real impacts on people. And I think they need to do more to empower their frontline staff to be able to make changes and to do things.
Yes.
Because it just feels like people get pushed back and it's, I'll ring the 0800 number and deal with it that way. And actually you're at the airport, you've got your luggage, you want to get on a plane, the people at the gate, in my experience they've been amazing, but it sounds like they're starting to lose that ability.
Yeah, a bit of a problem, eh?
Yeah.
But by the sounds of it, they're looking at fixing some of that stuff, which we heard this morning. Now, MP's property, the Herald lead this morning is about just the value of the properties that our parliamentarians own. Carmen, do you think that's a problem, or do you think that just reflects what everyone else probably owns?
Exactly.
Mostly.
It's not a problem, and I think, actually, if somebody's successful and they've decided to put their money in property and pay a mortgage or provide a rental property, then who cares? And as you know, we're all about transparency of data, and Velocity's proud to be NZME's One Roof partner and provide property data so anyone can look up the value of a property. But, if you've worked hard and decided to put your money in property, then great, good on you. I think we should celebrate it. I don't think it needs to be front page news.
Damien?
Yeah, I think it is a reflection of New Zealand. We have an obsession with property, which is a whole other problem, and I think first home buyers know this, the issue we have around the property market, but I don't think we can blame the MPs for that. I think it is a reflection. I do think it says something about the country, though, that our representatives, most of them are large landowners and they've got a lot of money. And I think that's more about the case that to become a politician, my limited experience, you need to have quite a bit of financial backing and you need to be quite financially secure. And I guess the concern is that you can end up with a bunch of MPs in Parliament who don't really represent the people that they're supposed to be serving. And I don't think that's there yet, but I think there's a risk, and that's why the visibility is so important, so that we can actually see what's going on.
But I disagree. I think that's why you have coalition parties, and that's where you have multiple representatives. And I'm sure you could also do a list of all the people in any party that don't own a property or that are renting or that have lived overseas. So I think it's a really mix, because I remember us doing a focus group when we launched one of our Velocity products for investors. And what amazed me is how many people are property investors in New Zealand. They were teachers that owned 2 properties. Everybody wants to buy an investment property. I don't have any investment properties, but it was amazing that Kiwis put their money in property and they see it as a stable thing. So I don't think that should be a bad thing.
It's the retirement plan, isn't it? Forever and a day, we've been told that it's the way that you will retire more comfortably. So,
yeah. But I think that the shame is what we're doing by investing in property. What we're not doing is investing in businesses, particularly in local businesses. And I think there's always been a capital investment problem in New Zealand, and obviously, we're not talking about mums and dads aren't going to be solving that problem, but I do think there's a wider problem with the way we invest our money, and property is part of it, and it should always be. But I think there's an over-reliance in New Zealand for an investment when it comes to property.
I'll do this very quickly on the whole Luxon leadership thing, and then we'll move to the fun story. Do you think he should step aside? Would that change anything for National and their vote? Do you think, Damian?
Not at this stage. I think it's too late.
No, nor do I. What do you think, Carmen?
I don't think he should. I think he's doing a superb job, and I think there's a lot of narrative of how you position things, glass half full or glass half empty. Certainly, as a global business, he's been incredibly supportive with the policies, particularly India, in New Zealand investment, bringing global investment back. To your point, that businesses need investment, and there's only so much money in New Zealand. So no, definitely not.
All right, now the fun story. So Dakota Bar in Wellington. This is in Courtney Place. They have apparently got themselves in a bit of trouble with the Alcohol Regulatory and Licensing Authority, aka Wowzers. They have come out and said you can't, so they have a pub quiz, and the prize is wait for it, a bar tab at the pub, and they're like, oh, that's sort of free alcohol or giving away alcohol, which is apparently a problem.
Oh my goodness, the world's gone mad. We have gone crazy. You know, if you want to drink, that's up to you. And if you're taking yourself to a bar and they're giving you a free bar tab, like, how is that wrong? Like, that's just like saying a restaurant shouldn't give a restaurant voucher, or a petrol station shouldn't give a petrol
It's their
station
business.
voucher. It's just nuts.
I think it's gone a bit too far. What do you think, Damian?
Yeah, I don't understand. It feels like there must be more to the story because it just doesn't make any sense. Because exactly, it's a bar, it's a restaurant. This is what they provide, and winning a bar tab for a quiz night is standard. That's what that's normally the prize, and you normally have them in the bar, and then you know, I think it seems perfectly normal, and I don't understand why they seem to have the book thrown at them.
It's very weird.
And something else to worry about.
I agree. Good to see you both this morning. Thank you very much for coming
Thanks
in.
for having us.
That is Howick local board member Damian Light and Vicelich founder and global CEO Carmen Vicelich. Here's Neva.